सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। हरिः ओम् श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः। हरिः ओम्. We are in chapter 6 and completed up to 17th sloka. We will revise Sloka number 17 and go ahead. Yuktahara viharasya yukta cheshtasya karmasu yukta swapnavabodhasya yogo bhavati dukkhaha. Here, Paramatma talked about the antaranga sadhana and bahiranga sadhanas. And he concluded Antaranga Sadhanani, and he is coming back to Bahiranga Sadhana, and he is giving a hint, which is moderation. The moderation in certain things. Yukta ahara viharasya. In eating, one must observe the moderation. That means too much of fasting is bad. Too many times eating is also bad. You cannot eat around the clock. Some people, they keep on eating. There is no other work for them. They keep something by the side. They keep munching. That is not good. That will spoil the health also. So, yukta ahara viharasya. You must be moderate in your eating habits. What to eat, Paramatma will also talk at a later stage. What to eat and what not to eat. How you can improve your sattvic mind by your eating habits. That will be dealt later. Here, Paramatma is hinting that one cannot eat too much nor fast too much. Too many times fasting is also bad. Viharasya. Vihara means entertainment. People believe that entertainment is the only objective of the life. That is the only motto of the life. So, they spend time merrily, just like charvakas. They do not know the very purpose of the life. So they eat merrily, drink merrily, spend the gala time in entertainment and merriment. Entertainment is not bad. One must entertain. Shastra will not say you don't entertain yourself. It is not the idea that should be carried home. The idea is do not take anything in excess. Excessive entertainment, excessive merriment is also bad. Yukta ahara viharasya. Viharam and aharam, both you should be very considerate and moderate in consuming aharam and spending your time in merriment and entertainment. Then, yukta cheshtasya karmasu. This is another kind. Yukta cheshtasya karmasu means there are people who spend lots of time in work. There is no other thing for them. They are workaholics. The workaholism is also bad because you have to do rest to the mind, rest to the body. If you engage yourself too much in work, it will spoil the health. So, yukta ahara viharasya, yukta cheshtasya karmasu. In your actions also, you should be moderate. You should take sufficient rest, both for the body and the mind, and then take up the actions. So, three things are there: aharam, viharam, and the action. Yukta swapna avabodhasya. Yukta swapna avabodhasya. In sleeping and waking. Some people, they keep on sleeping. There is no other activity but to sleep. They love to sleep. So, too much of sleeping, too much of, keeping oneself in vigilant way is also bad. That vigil means jagarana. That also must be performed moderately. You should have moderation in everything. Ati sarvatra varjayet. Ati should not be there. Anything you take up, but be moderate. Don't go in an extreme way. Taking extreme path or extreme way of doing anything is bad. So, with this we have the moderation is talked about. Then Paramatma also advised Ashtanga Yogam as a process of cleaning the mind, process of purifying the mind. Chitta Suddhi, Chitta Ekagrata, and Chitta Vaisalyam. You can get by Ashtanga Yogam. Ashtanga Yogam is 8-pronged method of disciplining oneself. The first two in the Ashtanga Yogam are called Yama and Niyama. Yama and Niyama. Yama means don'ts, Niyama means do's. There are 5 don'ts and 5 do's. Together, 10 things are there in Yama and Niyama. They are otherwise called 10 commandments of Hinduism. So these 10 commandments one must observe very religiously, without fail. So do's, Yama, Himsa Varjanam, you should not harm anybody, either mentally, verbally, or physically. You should not create any trouble to anyone on these 3 quarters, mentally, physically, and verbally. Then second thing is Asatya Varjanam. Asatya Varjanam means leaving all falsehood, talking only the truth. So you should not lie. So this is another thing, Asatya Varjanam. Then Steya Varjanam. Steya Varjanam means not stealing. Steya means stealing. Not to steal. This word you can understand, not to expect anything which is not yours. You should not expect anything which is not yours and try to keep it with you. Some people, they have the habit of stealing. They go to hotel and steal things. So this is called kleptomania, a kind of disorder. Now this Teya Varjanam, what Swamiji says, you should not exploit people. Exploiting people is also steyam, stealing. Supposing you have to give a person some amount, if you try to avoid, that is also called steyam. You are stealing his money. Or if you have to give a person for some work, legitimately some amount, you somehow manipulate and give only half of it. That is called steyam, stealing. So do not ever exploit a person. So exploitation, it is treated as steyam. children usually have this kind of steya buddhi. They steal the pencils, pens, erasers, etc. from the benchmates and classmates. They do not know that it is wrong. The parents must take meticulous care in educating them. Otherwise, it will become a serious issue. Steya varjanam is an important value. Then maidhuna varjanam. Maidhuna varjanam means you observe the bachelor hood. When you are a bachelor, you should not have any kind of the sexual life. If you are a married person, you should not have any kind of affair with others, sexual affairs with others. So this is called maidhuna varjanam. Parigraha varjanam. Parigraha varjanam means you should not expect anything from anybody unnecessarily. Some people, they keep on expecting things from others. So this kind of thinking is also bad. So parigraha varjanam. I should not accept things which I don't deserve. So actually the parigraha varjanam means he will not accept anything from anybody. So this is parigraha varjanam. But if you are working somewhere, you have to take salary. That cannot be taken as a parigraha varjanam. Taking salary or taking whatever the benefits you get from the employer, that is not parigraha varjanam. So expecting unnecessarily from others and taking things is parigraham. Such parigraham you should not accept. So parigraha varjanam means avoiding gifts, avoiding gifts from others. Then these are the 5 don'ts. Himsa varjanam, asatya varjanam, steya varjanam, maithuna varjanam, parigraha varjanam. Then do's, again there are 5. First one is called saucham. Saucham means the cleanliness. You should have bahya saucham and antara saucham. Outside you should be very clean. Like, you should take bath every day. There are, some people, they don't take bath every day. I don't know why. They take bath, twice a week or once a week. That is also bad according to Shastra. Purifying externally and purifying internally. Saucham externally, saucham internally. Internally, by keeping your mind clean. Don't entertain unnecessary dirty thoughts. So keep your mind healthy. That is internal saucham. Santosham. To be content with what you have. That is called saucham. And to be happy with whatever you got as Ishvara Prasadam. Tapas. Tapas means kashta sahishnutvam tapaha. So you take a vow and try to keep it up. So one full day you want to observe maunam. That is a tapas. You want to go to 7 hills by walk. Tapas. So like that, all kinds of kashta sahishnutvam is called tapaha. Then swadhyayam is studying the scriptures under a competent acharya and doing parayanam every day. Like we have Bhagavad Gita, Vishnu Sahasranamam, Purusha Suktam, Rudram, And whatever the Vedam you belong to, you have to study one chapter. If you do not know to which shaka you belong to, then you take up Taittiriya and read Valli, first Valli, that is Sikshavalli one day, Brahmanandavalli second day, then Bhruguvalli third day. So like that you have to continue Parayanam every day. This is called Swadhyayam. Pranidhanam, Ishvara Pranidhanam, that means surrender unto God. So this is the Niyamam. Yamam and Niyamam. Niyamam means do's. So together there are 10 commandments which every Hindu must perform. In Niyamam we have Saucham, Santosham, Tapaha, Swadhyayam, Pranidhanam. Out of this, the last 3 in Niyamam, that is Tapas, Swadhyayam and Pranidhanam. Together, they are called Kriya Yogam or Karma Yogam. Now, after Yama and Niyama, the third one in the Ashtanga Yogam is Asanam. This belongs to Annamaya Kosham. Asanam is the way you sit for meditation, the posture. So this is again already we have dealt in the Antaranga sadhanas. Then the fourth one is Pranayamam. Pranayamam belongs to the Pranamaya Kosha. Pranayamam is regularization of pranam. So equating prana and apana. So this is dealt by Paramatma in chapter 5. Then the fifth one is Pratyaharam. Pratyaharam is Indriya Nigraham, sensory restraint. All these Indriyas outwardly they work Bahya Mukha. They work externally, extrovert behavior will be there because of the Indriyas. People would love to see, love to hear music, they love to eat more, eat lots of things. So like that all the life is Bahya Mukham, externally. So you have to restrain these sensory attractions, outside sensory attractions, and try to keep your Indriyas inward. Inwards means you have to restrain them, outside things, Indriya vastus outside, and try to control them, try to regularize them and bring it inwards. Then dharana. Dharana is ekagrata. Ekagrata is focus mind or one-pointed concentration. One-pointed concentration is called dharana. Dhyanam. Dhyanam is, see, you have this dharana and dhyanam almost the similar, but dhyanam means, see, this one-pointed concentration, when you concentrate on an object, the mind will not stay for a long time. The mind will not stay for a long time. It will try to slip. So you have to somehow see that the mind retains on the object of concentration. So this is called dhyanam. Then samadhi. Samadhi means to keep the mind in union with the object of concentration. So when you are in samadhi, there is no difference between the meditator and the meditated object. Meditator becomes the meditated object. He becomes one with the object of meditation. So this is samadhi. In samadhi, there are 2 types of samadhis. One is called nirvikalpaka samadhi and other is called savikalpaka samadhi. Initially, when you are in the meditation, you have to deliberately keep the mind concentrated on the object of concentration. You have to make effort. You have to see that the same thought continues. That means vijatiya pratyaya anantaram sajatiya pratyaya pravahaha. That is meditation. That means same thought must continue for a long time. That is what we call meditation. If you think of a tree, a vruksham, then your mind will take vrukshakara vritti. It will take the shape of the vruksham. If you think of a ghatam, a pot, you get ghatakara vritti. The mind becomes ghatakara vritti. Mind modifies into ghatakara vritti. So like that, when you think of some God in your meditation, say Lord Shiva, for a few seconds you can concentrate on God, Shiva, and then again your mind will try to slip down to the other objects. You should not allow the mind to slip. So what you have to do? Sajatiya pratyaya pravahaha. So a similar thoughts on the same object, you have to keep on entertaining. You have lots of descriptions about Lord Shiva, so you keep on adding descriptions and then keep on thinking about Shiva. And then the mind will stay on Lord Ishvara for quite some time. So this is called savikalpaka samadhi. So as you practice more and more, this becomes nirvikalpaka samadhi. This becomes a natural flow. The moment you close and keep the object, it becomes very natural, and your mind settles and revels on the object of the meditation. So this way, if you try to meditate on Atma, first you have to meditate on Sakara Brahma, Saguna Brahma, Saguna Ishvara. Then you have to switch over to Nirguna Ishvara, that is Atma. So this vritti is called Akhandakara vritti or Atmakara vritti. Atma, you have got lot of attributes, lot of description is there. So you keep on thinking on those description and try to meditate on that. That way your mind internalizes the Atma Vidya and it becomes a natural flow. You will get that Atmanishta. So we will see the sloka number 18. Yadā viniyataṃ cittam ātmanyevāvatiṣṭhate niḥspṛhaḥ sarvakāmebhyo yukta ityucyate tadā. Yadā viniyataṃ cittam ātmanyevāvatiṣṭhate sarvakāmebhyo niḥspṛhaḥ tadā yukta iti ucyate. Sarvakāmebhyo niḥspṛhaḥ. That means to avoid mamakaram, to avoid a kind of attachment towards an Atma. Anatma means the attachment towards myself, towards my belongings, my kith and kin. I got ahankaram and mamakaram. Mamakaram is towards my people. Ahankaram is towards me. I got the attachment. So this I should somehow avoid in meditation. So if I think of my son or my daughter in the meditation, the mind will modify accordingly. Putrakara vritti. So that way it will take me to, it will roam all over the world. It will not allow me to concentrate. So, the meditation in Vedanta, the Vedantic meditation is not thoughtlessness. Only yogic meditation is thoughtlessness. The yoga philosophy talks about culmination of meditation as thoughtless stage. Whereas in Vedanta, we do not accept thoughtless stage. Amanaskam and manonasanam we don't accept. Or we approve that kind of mental state. Because mind must be active in Vedantic meditation. And mind must think of Atma and contemplate an Atma. So for this, mind should not be destroyed, nor mind should be kept dormant. We have to entertain the thought pattern, that too an Atma. This is called Atmani avasthanam. This is called dwelling in Atma, abiding in Atma, not thoughtlessness. But the thought pattern which is presented now, you can have infinite thought pattern towards Atma. Aham yekaha is one thought pattern. Aham asangaha is another thought pattern. You can keep on changing this idea so that the object is Atma. Aham ruparahitaha. I am formless. I illumine the formed body. But myself am formless. Like the light illumines the formed hand. But the light itself is formless. Thus, aham arupaha, aham sakshi, aham asangaha, aham nityaha, aham suddhaha. All these thoughts must be entertained continuously, so that mind doesn't slip from the Atma thought. And this process is called Atma Dhyanam. And this is what Paramatma said, Atmanyevāvatiṣṭhate. May you have that Atmanishta. The mind abides in Atma, entertaining the relevant thoughts about Atma. Staying in that Atmanishta is called yukta ityucyate. That is called yoga. And that is called samadhi. And it is also called absorption. The samadhi itself is divided into two. One is called savikalpaka samadhi. The other one is called nirvikalpaka samadhi. As I told you earlier, savikalpaka samadhi is in the initial state. You deliberately introduce the thought of Atma. You entertain the attributes of Atma and then try to contemplate on those thoughts. As you keep on doing more and more times, then it becomes a natural flow. The moment you sit for meditation, immediately your mind unites with Atma. You become one with Atma. There is no two things there. That becomes nirvikalpaka samadhi. There is no vikalpa. Nirvikalpaka samadhi. So, one must start with savikalpaka samadhi and then achieve nirvikalpaka samadhi. In nirvikalpaka samadhi, your thoughts are called akhandakara vritti or atmakara vritti. So, you live in that reality. And this is not possible when you blank your mind. So, you have to necessarily entertain the thoughts about Atma. And that Atma, asangaha, all these attributes you think, and that is you. That is my real self. I am that Atma. My real self is that Atma itself. I am not the body. I am not the mind. So that way you have to meditate. Then we'll proceed to sloka number 19. Yadā dīpo nivātastho neṅgate sopamā smṛtā yogino yatacittasya yuñjato yogamātmanaḥ. Sav upama smṛtā. The following simile is mentioned. Yatacittasya yoginaha. Yatacittasya means of restrained mind of a yogi. Yuñjata, who is practicing yogamātmanam, the dhyanam of the Atma, Atma dhyanam, who is practicing Atma dhyanam. Yatha, it is like that. Dīpaha nivātastho neṅgate. So, initially the mind flickers, the mind wavers, mind goes all over the world. As you practice more and more, the mind, focuses on the object of meditation. It will not hover and it will not create any kind of imbalance. So, this concentration becomes a natural process. So, that is called nirvikalpaka samadhi. So, this is possible just like, if you keep a light, a diya, in a place where there is no air. There is a place where a lot of air is flowing. If you want to light a candle, it will put off the candle because of the air. Yadā dīpaha nivātastho. So, as the lamp is placed in a place where there is no air flow, it is just like a river without any waves, a tranquil river. In the same way, the mind will be tranquil when you have that Atma dhyanam. So, if there is a flow of air, what we do is, if there is a fan nearby, when you keep this, a lamp at the altar, it may put off the flame. So, what they do, they keep a dome, a glass dome, to protect the, flame. So, the glass dome will not allow the air to, put off the flame. It will keep the flame intact. So, in the same way, if you want to have the focus of the mind, you should have the dome called abhyasam and vairagyam. Keep the dome called a shastram, which is abhyasam and vairagyam. Abhyasam here is bhakti and vairagyam. We should have a reverence for Atma and vairagyam for anatma. So far now you are, so much fancied about anatma. I am this body, I am this mind, these are my people. Like that, you are so much attached towards anatma. So now you should switch over from anatma to atma. So that way, with bhakti and vairagyam, you can keep the flame intact. Sa upama, that is the example. Yadā nivātastho dīpaha neṅgate. Neṅgate means it will be, intact. It will not flicker. Yatacittasya atmanaḥ yogam yuñjataḥ. So, yatacittasya means one who has restraint. One who has a restraint on mind, one who can regulate his mind. Such a person can have the Atma Dhyanam perfectly done. For him, it is not a difficult thing. So, this is what we have the example given by the Lord. The 20th sloka will see. Yatroparamate cittam niruddham yoga sevaya yatra chaivatmanatmanam pasyan atmani tushyati. Yoga sevaya niruddham cittam yatra uparamate cha eva yatra atmana atmanam pasyan atmani tushyati. Here, from sloka number 20 up to 23, Paramatma is mentioning about various samadhis. Different kinds of samadhis, the definitions to samadhi. In this particular slokam, we get two definitions. One is samadhi means chitta uparamanam. That means withdrawal of the mind from the external things. Then second one is Atma Darshanam. These are the two definitions. One should know that to be samadhi, wherein mind restrained by the practice of meditation quietens, and wherein one perceives the Atma with a pure mind and rejoice in the Atma. One should know that state is samadhi. What is that state? One who restrains the mind by the practice of meditation. He perceives the Atma with a pure mind and rejoice in the Atma. Now, there are two words in this particular sloka, chitta uparamanam, means quietening the mind. This is called samadhi. There are a lot of meanings for samadhi. One is samadhihi, yasmin sa samadhihi. Sama means tranquil. So to attain the state of tranquility is called samadhi. Imagine a pond without any wave. So that state, if you can achieve in the mind, that is called samadhi. In this, chitta niruddham is used. So the world is, towards the outside thing. The indriyas are outwardly, attached. Eyes want to see things. Ears want to listen lot of music. Then the tongue wants to taste things. Like that, there are so many attractions outside. So you should withdraw your indriyas from external things and try to, bring it inward. So from anatma world, you have to restrain the mind and you have to bring it inwards towards the Atma. That is called chittam niruddham. So for this you should have vairagyam. Na mrutyunna sanka na me jati bedaha pita naiva me naiva mata na janmaha. So like that, you should meditate on the thoughts which you can by which you can avoid the attractions of outside things. Yoga sevaya, by following Ashtanga Yogam, you can, have the concentration, you can have the samadhi state in the meditation. This chitta uparamanam is possible by practicing Patanjali Ashtanga Yogam. I explained what is Ashtanga Yogam. So by practicing this Ashtanga Yogam, you can achieve this samadhi state. So the first and foremost definition of samadhi is chitta uparamanam, withdrawal of the mind from external things. When you withdraw from external thing, the mind is, free. If you leave it like that, again it will go back to external things. So you have to show the target so that mind can catch. It is something like that, you are holding a book, somebody else gives you another book. So if the book is small, you can, hold both the books with the hand. The other book is also a big one. What you will do, you keep the book which you are holding on some place and take the book that is offered by your friend. So similarly, when you want to concentrate on Atma Dhyanam, when you want to concentrate on Atma and perform this Atma Dhyanam, you should keep all other things which your mind is occupied aside. You have to keep everything aside and keep your mind vacant and allow the Atma Dhyanam. So that is how you can accommodate Atma in the free mind. So when you accommodate Atma in your free mind, then you have the, concentration in Atma, then you entertain various thoughts. Mano buddhya hankara chitta ninaham nacha srotra jihve nacha grana netre. Like that, various thoughts you can entertain which promotes the Atmakara vritti, Akhandakara vritti. Atmanam pasyan. So you have to see Atma. Whatever the Guru taught you in the Vedantic classes, in Atma Vidya classes, Arsha Vidya classes, so you have to relive in that teaching. Atmani means in the mind you have to see the Atma. Where you have to see the Atma? Not outside, within you, in your mind. Atmana, only through mind. You can see Atma by means of Atma. Atma means you can have the nishtha of Atma, Atmanishta, by the mind only. Atmani eva, Atmani Atmana. Atmani Atmana means in the mind, by the mind. So by thoughts, by not emptying the mind, not blanking the mind, not destroying the mind, Atmana. Atmana means by mind only you can achieve this. That means by contemplation, by living in that reality, you can have the Atmanishta. So in that Atmanishta, you can see that Sachidananda Atma, that is your own real self. When you feel that you are that Atma, Sachidananda Paramatma, when you start living in that reality, you have that feeling, aham purnaha asmi. When you have that purnatva darshanam, that atma darshanam is the second definition. When you have that purnatva darshanam, you don't lack anything. There is no inadequacy in you. So you will be ever happy. Tushyati, that is the word used there in the sloka. Tushyati means you are ever happy. Because you know that you are whole and complete. There is no need for anything outside to fill you. You are already purnaha. So when you are a purna purusha, the external things you do not require to make you happy. So these are the ideas Paramatma has given in this particular sloka. Paramatma has given the idea that the mind should be kept just as the lamp in a place where there is no airflow. In the same way, you have to keep your mind ready for the flow of atmakara vritti. So that means you should restrain the outside thoughts and allow the thoughts on Atma. Atmakara vritti you have to entertain by having various descriptions. And finally you have to culminate that Atma is myself. That is me, my own nature. When you realize and when you start living in that reality, then you get happiness. Aham purnaha asmi. That purnatva siddhi is the second definition of the samadhi state. In that samadhi state, you get the happiness. That is called jivan mukti. You are happy while you are alive. All other schools talk about the moksham. This is called moksham here and now. All other schools, including Visishtadvaitam, talks about moksham after death. Visishtadvaitam will not accept jivan mukti. Only Advaita Vednata promises jivan mukti. And people are there. And people do declare that they are getting happiness here and now. So that is the advantage and the benefit of Atma Vidya. I am ever free. So more definitions of Samadhi Bhagavan is going to explore in the coming classes, more in the next class. Hari Om, Om Tat Sat. Sarvam Sri Krishna Arpanamastu. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudatyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevāvatiṣṭhate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om